Hello, our friends. We hope that your preparation is going well. Welcome to our lectures on how to prepare for IELTS by TOPjargan. And I'm your host, Niran. I'm a graduate of the University of Edinburgh and have certificate IELTS 8.0 with more than 10 years of international experience. Let's start. Lesson number 4. We continue working on the reading skills, and today we'll be talking about training exercises. So we continue talking about some practical tips, how to prepare for reading tasks and boost your reading skills and reading score. So last classes, as you remember, we were talking about scanning and skimming techniques. Today, we'll be talking about how to boost your vocabulary, then how to enhance your speed, and developing the skill of understanding main meaning of the passage. They are kind of separate skills, but we have to understand that they have some kind of overlapping, and yeah, the skills kind of help each other. But let's just review that when we prepare for IELTS, we have three main rules. First one, vocabulary, right? It's like the first golden rule. We have to understand 75% of the text. Second one, it's speed. We have to read and process information quite fast. Third, it's critical thinking, your cognitive ability to understand different types of questions. So let's start with the vocabulary. Apart from that, we have to know like 75% of the whole passage. Um, Here's some advice how to train to develop your vocabulary. And the first one is like translation type of exercise. So when you translate, try not to translate the word by word, but try to scan the phrase and scan the sentence and get the idea, the understanding of the meaning rather than matching the words. Okay? For example, let's have a look. Let's read this text together. We will dive into practice and then you can practice in the same way by yourself. So let's read together. So instead of just translating, primary reason for search is basic curiosity. Try to scan the whole phrase. The primary reason for that search is basic curiosity. And this is the whole idea you have to, okay, search. So scientists want to find out something and they do it because of just wanting to know, curiosity. Okay, next. The same curiosity about the natural world that drives all pure science. Then you have dash, help yourself. Pay attention to the punctuation marks like commas, dash. So dash, it's actually developing this part of the sentence. So the same curiosity about the natural world that drives all pure science. Okay, curiosity actually which drives the science in general. That's how you translate, okay? So try to scan the text and split sentences into phrases. That's the advice number 1. Next, common and specific words. It's almost um, not necessary and maybe not possible to know everything, every single word, even in your native language. Yeah, guys, we don't know like every word. Sometimes we learn the whole life. It's okay not to know something, but we have to distinguish about like distinguish like specific words from common words. Specific words, they are some, I don't know, technical terms. IELTS is academic exam, so we have like academic passages, and we might face words from biology, from geography, science, math, and so on. We are not required to know every single term, but we have to understand the general meaning of it, okay? Once you know the common vocabulary, which relates to rule exercise number 1, 75% rule, it's okay. You will be able to get the main idea, okay? So that's this advice and exercise. So when you translate, pay attention if it's like the common word or like some specific word. Next one, words repetition. So we don't advise actually to like just learn vocabulary by heart in a list. We advise work with the texts and then learn vocabulary from the text. Why? First, because you have the association. You will remember the story, the meaning, and then you get this idea from the meaning associations you have. Next, you will train for the reading like exam in general. And like third, you will see that there will be words repetition. IELTS vocabulary it is quite specific, but it's limited. Um, so after reading, let's say about 10 passages, you will see that your vocabulary like um, will have like improved significantly, and you will see that some words will be repeated again and again, again and again. So let's have a look. For example, even in this tiny paragraph, let's find together some words which are actually repeated. Um, okay, we can see pollution here, and we can see pollution here. We can see existence here, and we can see exist here, as you can see, yeah? So the root is the same, exist, existence. When you learn vocabulary from IELTS text, you also connect words. They are different parts of speech. Exist as a verb, existence as a noun, but they are about the same meaning, right? And so on. Survival. And probably we have somewhere survive as well because this text is mostly about survive, another 1,000 year. Okay, last. We might have survive. Okay, we have survive here, survival, again, different parts of speeches, but the same root. So as you can see, the words will be repeated. That's very useful and very actually quite great technique how to boost your vocabulary. Another advice which we can give is a cross-sectional approach. It means when you are learning vocabulary, bear in mind that it's not only for this particular like task of reading, but you can use this vocabulary in your speaking, in your writing, then again in listening, because it's also about the academic English. You will hear on listening part actually quite the same level of language. It will be a bit easier than reading, I would say, but again, it's like a lot in common. So this is the list of exercises you can practice by yourself when you prepare for IELTS reading. Okay? Next one, let's talk about how can we improve our speed. In previous lectures, we talked about the 4-minute rule when you read out loud. If you are able to read aloud half of the page in 4 minutes, it means you have quite good speed. Then also practice translating aloud. Then fast read. So you can um, change and integrate all these exercises. You can add something else. You can change the pace, time limit. I mean, play with that. Use the configurations which work for you, but please do it aloud from time to time, because when you do it aloud, you hear yourself and you develop um, your like cognitive abilities in like pace of absorbing the information in the most efficient way. Okay. Also, scanning. Scanning is a good exercise to boost your speed. About scanning and skimming, we talked about in our previous class. You can have a look and listen to that lecture. So scan for some particular words you are looking for. Okay, so this is like example of the passage we have. Again, the same like so you can pause the video and probably try yourself just reading aloud, shadowing, translating aloud, um, scanning, skimming, etc. Right? Okay. So let's move on. And next category we would like to highlight is like actually exercises which help you to understand the main meaning of the text. So it's very important, and we talked about in the part of skimming in the last lecture again, so you can have a look. So how to train? Also skim the text. Try to understand and derive the main meaning. Try to highlight keywords, okay? Try to understand the types of question you are answering and what the meaning might be important for this or that particular question. And I want to repeat again, simultaneous approach. Try to answer not one question at once, but couple of questions, two or three at once. Because in one paragraph, you might have answers for several questions, okay? That will save your time. So we can practice again. You can pause the video. Let's read, for example, this 4 lines and understand the main meaning, right? Okay. So the primary reason for the search is basic curiosity. The same curiosity about the natural world that drives all pure science. We want to know whether we are alone in the universe. We want to know whether life evolves naturally if given the right conditions, or whether there is something very special about the Earth to have fostered the variety of life forms. So what the idea is about? It's that about the curiosity drives all research which done by scientists, and the main question if uniqueness of the Earth as a planet or not. Literally that's it. So you can practice by yourself. You can read further and just say in one sentence what's the main meaning in your opinion. Okay. So that's pretty much for today. It was very intense class. Thank you for joining. Glad to see you even virtually. And see you next classes. Take care and goodbye.